Before we get started, I just want you to watch this quick video on someone that's using leads and automation inside their business. It's super important because this is where you could be in just the next 3 to 4 weeks if you follow the steps inside the 3X lead machine.
I was sold straight away. We're seeing growth every month, and that's because we can engage with our prospects. Not everybody we speak to is ready to make a decision and say yes to us right now. And Infusionsoft helps us keep a natural conversation going with those people in the background, and with our ongoing clients, we can have another conversation with them. I couldn't believe the results. People were calling us, the leads weren't just slipping through the cracks, we were closing more leads.
All right, welcome to the lead machine. This is the first video of many to come over the next 3 weeks. And I just want to say a quick welcome and to tell you you're going to be in for a treat. What you're going to learn over the next 3 weeks is really going to take your business or your idea to the next level. As the logo says, there's 3 weeks of training, and in each week there's a whole lot of modules. So there's a whole lot of videos, there's PDFs, and there's free software. And yeah, there's 3 modules and over those 3 weeks. And also there's some, at the very end of it, you're going to get some lead capture tools, and there's 3 of them. These 3 lead capture tools are going to be loaded onto your website, and they're going to actually capture the leads, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and you're going to watch over my shoulder, and I'm going to show you how to install it. And don't be alarmed, it's really simple. I've got people from all around the world, from all types of nationalities, ages, that have been able to do it. So you'll be fine if you just watch what I'm doing. Now, everything in here is absolutely free. There's no charge for anything inside here. I don't collect any credit cards, any information, apart from helping you. So let's get on with the show, and I'll walk you through the next few slides. Now, the first thing to remember in this whole exercise you're going to be going through is there's no rush. I want you to slow down and take your time. I mean, what you're seeing here is 5 years of my mistakes and what it took me to learn how to get leads. I mean, I spend an awful lot of time and an awful lot of money to get it right, and what you're going to see is all those learnings. So you know, there is no silver bullet to this, only you know your business, and I want you to take your time. Now, over the sorry, I'm just having a few button problems here. Over the next couple of weeks, this is how the modules are broken down. So lesson 1 is what you have now, and in lesson 1 you've got this video here, and there's 3 other videos, and there's a couple of workbooks. So take your time and just read through everything carefully, and you've got full access to all the videos. You can replay them, pause them, do what you like. Then next week is lesson 2, and what we do in lesson 2 is I show you how to set up these accounts. So you need to set up a series of accounts, and if you don't have a website, don't panic. I've also included in lesson 2, there's a module there which shows you how to set up a website for free, and there's 2 systems you can use, and in there's a PDF you can download, and all the links are sitting in there, so you don't have to take you know, any website notes or pause screens and write stuff down. Everything's in the little booklets that I provided in each module. Now lesson 3 is the last section, and this is where we actually get to do the work. So, you know, lesson 1, yes, it's a bit boring, it's the homework time, and it's what you have to do now, and take your time over it, but hey, you got to take everything seriously and take your time, because if you don't do it right from day 1, you're going to trip yourself up and fall over. Now lesson 3 is where we stick it all together, and this is where I'll show you where we can get the free software and how you install everything. So that's basically an outline of what we're going to be going over. Now this session, well, this whole course, the whole course and what you're seeing, it's actually taken me about 4 months of planning and building to put it together. And I believe and I know it's incredible value. And if you don't think it's incredible value, please tell me. But there's only one thing I ask for in return, is that you share my course on Facebook and like it. Hey, if you like it, please hit the like button. If you look below the video here, you'll see the comments box. That's where I want you to put your comments in there, and if there's any feedback, I'll reply to it. And if you like it, hit the like button and share it. Because as I said there in red, I absolutely guarantee you will get leads from this system, no matter what business you're in. I've dealt with accountants, lawyers, pest control people, builders, electricians, creative people, design people. The list just goes on and on and on. The field that I worked in for a few years was in the finance sector, and I was getting insurance leads, one of the most difficult sectors to get leads in, and it still is very competitive. But in the first 15 months, by using this exact same system, I made and turned over $471,000 in my first 15 months. Now, that little business I had was so successful, I had a larger company come along and said, I want that machine for our business, and it was a multi-million-dollar company. So what you're learning here is extremely valuable. Now, I know you see these courses with all these promises and what have you, and I want to show you. This is a screen grab off Xero. That's the amount there. There's the figure, 471. So that's the amount of commissions that I earned from, well, that's for the 12 months ending 31 March, but I had been in business a couple of months, or 3 months before that, so it's the first 15 months. And once I had this up and running, I applied the same principles, and I showed I was actually teaching other brokers at the time to use it, and there you go. This is a broker that worked with me with no experience, and using the same system. Look what he did in 9 months. So what you're seeing here is a proven system that works. It takes all the essence of getting the lead to actually engaging with the person, and then actually on selling the product or service that you have. No matter what you do, the same principles of selling apply, and selling is very similar to dating. So before we get started, there's just a couple of housekeeping rules I want to go over. When you are going to get emails from me, and you're going to get emails from me, and if you've got a Yahoo account, just please whitelist me. If you're unsure, there's in my link to the right hand side there, download the PDF, and there's some information booklets there, or links to YouTube channels which will actually walk you through it. So this is basically how you do it. Just add me to your contacts in Yahoo, and the same goes with Gmail. Just go in there, and if you find me in spam, and just add me to your contacts. And if you've got, God, I could spend all day going through all the different email systems, but these are probably the top 3. With Outlook, just go into the junk folder, and just put never block this sender. So let's get on with it. Now, you can probably tell if you're from the US. I'm not from the US, and I'm definitely not from Australia. I'm from New Zealand and live in Auckland, so that's my accent. I will try and speak slowly so you can hear me very clearly. So let's look at how I learnt everything over those 5 years, because this is really important. This will kind of highlight to you some of the things that you're probably coming up against in your own business. I actually found this one image, and this describes it. I had 5 years of headaches and a lot of anguish. I didn't even know what a customer CRM system was at the time. I just used to use little Rolex cards, and once I got a customer, I'd straight on to the next one, and I never had time to stop and think about the value of a customer. And the whole time I was paying for traffic, so all my traffic was paid for to get me leads. That was going into customers all the time, and I was just going round and round in circles, chasing my tail. And I was focusing on the 4% of people that buy straight away, and I was totally ignoring this. the 96% of people that don't buy straight away. That's where the money is. It's in that 96% of people that don't buy. And the ironic thing is, that little equation there, when you look at most businesses, those percentages are about right. I mean, if you looked at a supermarket, it'd be a bit different because people go there to buy. But this is really kind of applying this principle to traffic that's cold. And when I started out, I just had really no idea what I was doing, and I paid a lot of money on consultants. I kept asking them, how do I do this? How do I get my opt-in box? How do I get my lead page set up? And how do I get my sequences set up? Because I had automation systems in place. And the one thing I didn't have from the beginning, and if I could wind back the clock now, I'd have a plan. I never had a plan. Now, in the booklets in here is the planning session, and there's some videos coming up on this, and I can't stress to you how important this is, because if you do want to take your business to to another level, you need to have a plan, and you're always going to be looking back on this plan. And in the plan, I spend a lot of time focusing on your market. You've really got to understand your market, because if you don't understand your market, you're never going to get leads. So as I was going through my day-to-day in my business, the leads were coming in. In fact, they were just flowing in at a rate, but I just couldn't keep up with things. And sooner or later, I was spending my time focusing over here. Then I had sales flying out the door, and then my leads were floating out the door. And this this was me. I could just scream. I just had no idea what to do, and I thought, why on earth have I gone into business? Why did I do this? It was just driving me nuts. And it wasn't till the day that I came across this. It's really powerful. Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely depends, or solely relies, not depends, on what you think. And when I saw that, now I'm not a religious person, I'm not into Buddhism of any type. If you are, I don't mean to offend you, but this image really struck a chord with me, and I thought to myself, I don't have time to think in my business. This is where it's all going wrong. I just don't have time. And I wasn't happy, and I thought, God, maybe this is right. Maybe I need to relook at things. I'm sick and tired of looking like this. So this is how I designed the lead machine. And what you're going to learn here is going to avoid all this carry on that you're seeing. It's going to step you through in your own time, and it's going to show you what to do so you don't end up looking like this. So this is what I did. I looked at my business and I thought to myself, now look, I know this is theory and you're probably thinking, come on, let's get on with it, but I need to cover this off because it all makes sense in the end. So when you look at your business, it's kind of like the side of a house. So this here is the frame of a house, and inside your house you've got your foundations down the side to hold it in, and it's going down 48 inches into the ground. It's got anchor bolts which connect the frame to the foundations to hold it in place, and then you've got this frame along the bottom which kind of connects everything together. So the area that I'm focusing on for this course is here. Hang on a second, let's go to the next screen, is here. So these are the things you're going to be learning. Up along the top here, I'm going to create all your traffic, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And again, all this creation that I'm going to show you, it's going to give you a certain amount of traffic at no charge. In fact, you're going to get a bonus boost in the video 2, in the module 2 next week, and I'll show you how you get that boost. We're going to set up all your accounts. I'm going to set up your landing page, your lead badge, and all the free software that goes with it. And this is going to take you 3 weeks. Now, as you're going through the course, you need to be aware of this, because you're going to have to manage your sales and you're going to have to manage your customers. Now, without sales and without customers, you don't have a frame, and without customers and sales and a frame, you don't have a house or a business. But what you need to be mindful of is that you don't end up like this, because if you don't manage things properly, you're going to end up ripping your hair out. Now, this leads me to the second part of what I did in my business. Was I automated everything, and people always ask me, how do you automate it? What do you use? Well, there's no secret. What I use is Infusionsoft. Now, Infusionsoft connects to the lead machine. Every single lead that comes into my business, or any business I've been involved in, comes in and just goes through the motions, deals with sales, deals with customers, they come in, spits them through, comes through, and it just works day and night, over and over again. So what you need to be aware of is these little, I call this here my sales machine. This system here, it's a bit like having a marketing and salesperson 24/7 at a fraction of the cost. Doesn't get sick, doesn't take holidays, never complains, just keeps working over and over again. So that's how I managed to get rid of the stress in my business. But what I'm showing you here over the next 3 weeks is this. We're focusing on leads, and that's what I've promised you, and that's what we're going to get. But in the end, once this is all built, you can do this. The lead machine will plug into Infusionsoft, and Infusionsoft is based on a theory of attract, which is this part here, which I'm going over. They've got a selling sequence, which is talking to your salespeople, or your sales department, or your salesperson, or you might be the only salesperson, and that's that left pillar in this bit over here. And on the right pillar over here is the wow, and this is your customers. So this is the theory on how Infusionsoft works, and Infusionsoft has been around for over I think about 15-16 years. So if you do want to take this to the next level, you've got that option. It is there. Okay, so you're not going to have anything wasted. However, if you want to sit there and just use the lead machine, fine, there's not a problem, but you've got that option. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to walk you through very quickly on the 3 weeks. So week 1, this is what we're doing now. This is all the homework and planning. And week 2, we're going to be going through and building up your, actually in here in week 1, I will show you what the lead magnet is, and I'll show you why you need to create a certain advert or advertisement, or as they say in America, advertisement, in a certain way. And everything in here is going to link back to this planner ebook, so make sure you read it. We're then going to go through and set up a Google Analytics a Google account, and then there you're going to get a free $100 credit to use, so you can get the leads. And then here I'm going to walk you through and show you how to set up an AdWords Express account, and it's all going to link to your website. I know maybe some of you are thinking this is just too hard, but please bear with me. It's actually quite straightforward, because you're going to see everything over my shoulder. Now, once we've done that part, then we're going to go into the setting up. So this is where we actually set up all your leads, and it's going to connect to your website, and then it's going to connect into your lead machine. So again, just to recap, if you want to go through all this and stop right here, fine. If you want to plug your business in and take it to the next level, you can take it into Infusionsoft. The choice is totally yours. Now, all the links to Infusionsoft are in the website. You'll see them dotted around, and you'll see little ads to the bottom right of the screen here. If you do want to have a demo of Infusionsoft, click the link, and it'll take you to a personalized page, which will connect you up to the guys that I deal with. They know my lead machine, they understand the system, and they can plug it in for you and do all the work for you if required, or just give you a demo. It's entirely up to you. So for the next 3 weeks, all we're going to be doing is focusing on this. I don't have enough leads, and that's the attract part of the life cycle marketing system that Infusionsoft uses, and over 100,000, it's actually 100,000 users or small businesses that have used this system. So it works, and it's the same system that I use. Now, just to recap, if you do want to skip the course completely, you can go on to the guys at Infusionsoft. Like I said, there's Chris Kimball. He's the main guy. 99% of the time you'll get in touch with him. that's in there. Oh, good looking Chris. And hey, you've got the choice. If you want to skip the course, go straight to the Infusionsoft. That's not a problem, doesn't bother me. And if you finish the course, then nothing is wasted. But if you decide just to use the lead system down here, that's fine too. You've got the options, they're all there.
If you would like a demonstration to see how Infusionsoft can work for your business, then click the link on the screen. The guys at Infusionsoft will share their screen with you and demonstrate how simple it is to get started. Just click the link on the screen and get started today.
So let's get into the modules. So module 1. This is the first thing I want you to, if you've got a printer, print it out and have a read of it. This is turning visitors into leads. It kind of just covers off at a top level what we're going to cover off in this entire course, but it doesn't go into the detail that I'm going to be going over. So have a read of this ebook. It's absolutely fantastic, full of some good information, and it'll start getting you to think. The second book you must read is the Lifestyle Marketing Planner. Now for this section here, you only need to go through pages 1 to 10. It's very, very straightforward. It's not difficult. And again, if you decide to go into the Infusionsoft section, then you've done the lead machine, then sections 2 and 3, the sell and the wow, are part of the process. So you can just keep going and use the same booklet when you speak to the guys at Infusionsoft. The second module next week, we're going to be going through setting up your accounts. So these are all the folders that will all be sitting there, and the screen will look very similar to what you're seeing now, and you'll be able to step through the course at your own pace, and again, take your time. And then the third part will be setting up your lead capture tool. So in week 4, in a month's time from now, you'll be looking back going, I can't believe I've actually finished this course, and it is doing what it said it would do. And that is why I put together what's called the 3x lead machine. Okay, so this is really the first lesson that we're going to go through, and you know, again, this is the boring part that I was talking to. This is the bit where you've got to do some homework. As I said, I don't know your business, and you're the only one that really knows it. And you're going to have to take a good hard look at yourself and your customers, because without this bit, you're not going to achieve the end result. I need you to really take your time in this part, because if we don't get this right, this is where it falls over. Every single person I know that's ripped through this and hasn't done it properly has fallen over and has complained saying, oh, it didn't work for me, I didn't like it. So really focus on this. Take your time and get it right first time. Now, I sent you that little booklet before, which is the this is just turning visitors into leads. It's a great little read. If you haven't read it yet, take your time and do give it a read, because it's got some great stuff in there. Now this is the planner, and what I've done is I've taken just a mock-up company, and I've called it Jack and Jill Pest Control, and this is the company I'm going to refer to in this booklet and right the way through, so you can see over my shoulders as I set everything up, and that includes the Google accounts, the Express account, and all the lead pages. Everything's going to be set up for you step by step so you can follow it. Now these are the 3 main sections we're going to cover off in this video here. Is we're going to be really looking hard at, well, the reason why we're doing this video, you're going to be doing this book, is because without a planner, we don't know what our lead magnet's going to be. And once you've got your lead magnet, that determines what your landing page is going to be and what your advertisement or advertisement's going to be, because it all, you know, jumps from the customer to the ad to the landing page to the lead magnet. They kind of all work together. So it's really important you take your time and get this bit right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to be finding out more about your business. I'm not going to go over this slide too much, because I'm going to jump to the PDF, and I think by leading by example, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So again, this document is 30 pages long. We're only focusing on the first 10, so don't worry yourself too much. Now, before we start, just remember that anything, any business, anyone, any service, any product, you need to have a market. You need to know your audience. and you need to promote it. You've got to tell people, unless you've been in business for years and you've got a great referral system, you have to have an advertisement or advertisement to allow promotion to happen. And all that promotion is going to be captured through what we call a lead magnet. And you'll see what a lead magnet is as we go through everything. So let's go to the PDF and I'll walk you through the example, the Jack and Jill Pest Control. Okay, so here's the little PDF document I've got here, and it's the same one you've got. Have a read through this section here, and look, this is the table of contents, and you'll see everything is broken down into the same 3 sections I showed you in the earlier videos. The green part is the attract section, and this is the lead. This is in essence the lead machine, but with 3x lead machine, I'm going to show you those 3 lead capturing tools that you can use in this section. The blue section really focuses on the selling part of it, and the red section focuses on the referrals from your existing client base. So for now, just don't worry about this section here, just focus on these pages here. So let's just scroll down and we'll get into it. You'll see here's those 3 sections. You'll see these icons quite a lot. So when you come down to here, you kind of look at what your ideal customer is. Now remember, we're talking about pest control, so think about who is your customer. So here it's going to be, in this situation I've used, it's someone's 30 to 55. They could be double income type people, mum and dads, they've got a mortgage, kids, and more than likely they'll be a homeowner. Now a really key thing here is when you think about your ideal customers, to think about where they are. Now in this case here, they will want to live within 5 kilometers or 7 miles from my home, because you don't want to be traveling everywhere. And when the system here, when the book talks about what are their pain points, a big pain point for someone in the North Shore where I live is ants. Ants is a big problem. Now if you're sitting here thinking, what's this got to do with my business? It's got a lot to do with your business, because when you see the lead magnet and the advertisement, and you'll see how I've tied them all together, it all derives from what I'm doing right now. This is the boring part. Now, pain points. We know that just before summer and after summer, ants are a big problem, and there's also a demand for people wanting natural products. Now, just walking through here, I could spend a lot of time on this section, but I won't, because you've got the booklet here. I'm just doing this as a matter of course, so you get an idea of what you need to kind of cover off. So why should they buy from me? Well, this is a key point here. Look at the time you've been in business. And if you've only been in business and you're new, well then you might have a new technique or a skill or a machine or whatever to show them. But this case, this person's been in business for 20 years. So the background in the area of pest control is really, really important. What are the most common objections? Well, one of the common questions could be to ask yourself, what's the most common question you get asked in your business? Think about it. If you're a dentist, probably might be, hey, what does it cost to get a crown? What does it cost to get my teeth cleaned? This one here is ants is a huge problem. How do I get rid of ants? That's the most common question this person gets asked. Down here is who's not my target audience, and this is really important, because if you don't know who's not your target audience, well then you're going to spend your money focusing on the wrong people. So in this one here, this person wants contract maintenance work, not one-off jobs. That's really important, because this is really how you create a decent business that you can sell, because creating a business is like creating an asset. You want to be able to sell it. Now this is where we focus on demographics and psychographics. So the demographics are the characteristics of your marketplace, and psychographics are the motivations to take action. What type of person would do this? So make sure you go through and fill this section in. And then you get down to this part down here. Where do my customers hang out? Now, I can't stress to you how important it is to kind of not just focus your business online. I know this session this whole course is based on online marketing, but really think about the types of people that you could be wanting to target outside of the internet. There's clubs, book clubs, there's all types of societies out there that people belong to. Networking groups is a big one. You need to look at where you can capture your leads from. And there's an amazing there's an amazing amount of opportunity out there that people ignore. They just keep thinking, well, the only place I'm ever going to find leads is online. Well, that's not true. It's a good big part of business now, but you need to really think about where your customers hang out. What would attract them to my products and services? How-to information, how to get rid of wasps, bees. In fact, we had a wasp problem in our own home, and I would have loved to have known how to get rid of the wasps, or even prevent them from coming into the house. And how to get rid of ants. Ants are a major problem. Now, what lead magnets are currently working? Now, remember, a newsletter is not a lead magnet. So coupons, contests, free trials. If you what would work? Education on what causes ants, and what causes ants to be around your house. Why are ants around, and what attracts them? All these things is the key things that people want to know. Now, later on, I'm going to show you. You're going to be thinking, well, why the hell would I ever tell anyone this information? Because then they don't need me. Well, that's not true. That's not true, and I'll show you why. Because it's called a tactic called splintering off your core offer, and I've got a whole video section dedicated to this, and I'm going to show you how you can do this. New lead magnet ideas, small information packets, little packs of information you could drop off, a Facebook page, how to get what have I got down here? So I've got here search, get free, how to, all these types of things that people kind of search for online. Trying to these are people who are kind of DIY people who want to know how to get rid of rats. So you can give them some tips on it. But I'll tell you what, when you get a rat problem, that's a big rat problem, no DIY person is going to be able to get rid of that problem. So and down here there's just a bit of an opportunity analyzer. Start thinking about the number of leads you're currently capturing on your website today. This person here is getting 0800 calls or 1800 calls and the odd email. They don't know, they don't measure it. And at the end of this course, you are going to see how you can measure everything. And through here, these are topics to brainstorm, and I've just kind of highlighted the one here in red because this is the one we're going to focus on. 3 questions I always get asked about. 3 questions I always get asked about. I want you to think about that for your business. And think about 3 tips for dealing with those questions you get asked. So down here, this is where we map out our lead magnet. I want you to think about what's important and what's urgent. Because what's unimportant and not urgent is, how do I prevent ants from coming in my house, like I mentioned before? What kills ants? How to keep them out of my house? How to control them? But bees in my wall at home or rats everywhere, this is urgent and really important. So I want you to really think about this section here, because it's going to make sense to you in a minute, because I'm going to show you how we're going to build your lead magnet. Now, if I just scroll down to the last section down here, you'll see here how many visitors am I attracting each month. Just jot down some information down here. It's not hugely important. And then down here, fill in some information here. Getting this section here is not really that important because I'm actually going to do it all for you. So just fill out the information, and when you get down to this section here, stop.
If you don't have time to finish the course and prefer someone else to do all the work, then click the link on the screen and the guys at Infusionsoft will set everything up for you. Get started today. Your competition won't know what hit them.
Okay, welcome back, guys. This section is quite a long one. There's quite a lot to cover off, so feel free to pause it at any time. We're covering off quite a lot here. This is the theory behind the lead magnet, and I'm going to show you what a lead magnet is and your advertisement and what we need to do to create it. So let's get cracking. We've got a bit to cover off here. So again, you've gone through that planner book, you're understanding your market, and I'm going to be talking you through here is how we're going to get the traffic to your site, and we need to create an advertisement. And also we're going to be going over the lead magnet, and we're going to be walking through actually creating it. And you don't need to be a creative, because I'm actually going to walk you through it. So let's look at understanding your market. The first thing you need to do is you need to realize the competition out there. And I've used an example here of weight loss. In the weight loss market, it's extremely competitive. You know, there's a lot of there's a lot of people in the sector focusing on the same clients or customers. But when you look at this market here, weight loss for men over 50, you see here it's a lot narrower, and it's a lot easier to get the leads and to get the business and to get the customers. It's not so competitive. And this type of marketing you need to think about for your own business. And if we look at pest control, the word pest control is quite wide, but when you go into pest control North Shore, you're talking about things like the problem and the location. Now you could get even more narrower and talk about ant problems North Shore. So a specific problem for a specific location. It's really important to think about for your business if you're in the service business. So let's just look at that 96% of people that don't buy. This is the key area we're going to focus on, and the reason why they don't buy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the old dating cycle, and this is a kind of the age distribution to people who are kind of looking to get married. They're looking to get married, but they're not quite ready yet. Now it's really interesting. I know you're going to think I'm nuts, but look at this here. They haven't found what they're looking for, and it's the same thing with our market. Depending on what market you're in, people do want to buy. If you go to a supermarket, you're ready to buy. But if you're looking for a car, you just kind of might have a good look around and just make sure that you want to know that product and know that car, know what you're buying before you buy. So the majority of times when people are buying from you, and the reason why they don't buy is they just don't know you yet. Okay, yet. This is really key, and this is going to be the part we're going to focus on. These are these 96% of people that don't buy. So how do we get more leads from paid traffic? I'm going to start at the very top. Most people will understand this little theory here. On Google AdWords, you will pay per click. Now, just for the example's sake here, I'm just using 100. Now, let's just say we had 100 clicks or 100 views. We would know roughly 4 people will buy. So these are people that would buy from you probably this number here because of urgency. They want it now. You know, if you wanted to go into another area where people do buy things all the time, and I'll give you an example of an extremely competitive market, is loss of data loss. You know, if you've lost data, that person wants to get it back. So, you know, you could pay a lot of money to be on top of Google for that, but you know the demand for that is extremely high. A little tip too, you may have seen when you're searching on your mobile, a little call button. That's linked to the person's call number, like the 0800 number. Now they pay for that, but they know it's dealing with people who want things done urgently. But we know that there's only a small amount of people that want stuff straight away. They don't care if they don't know you because they know they've got a problem. They want the problem out of the way. They want it resolved. But the smart marketers know that the money sits in here, this bit here. So let's just use this example here. Let's say of the 96, we've captured 30% of them as leads. Now how we get those leads, we don't ask them out on a date straight away. We don't say, hey, do you want to come for dinner and get married? Do you want to, which we call the baby? You know, it's just weird. You don't do that. So what we're going to ask them for is their email address, and that's all, in exchange for a guide on how to get rid of ants. Really simple. It's in our planner that we spoke about before. We know it's a key problem in our location, 5 kilometers from home. This is a major issue. Now, I'm not giving away all my intellectual property because I'm the ant person and I have poison, I have tools and I have systems and I've got experience. But I'll tell you, maybe how to prevent ants might be a better one from coming into your home. But I'll give you that if you give me your email address. And then what I'll do is I'll come back to them and I'll say to them, hey, how would you like me to actually give you a 20% discount if you apply, if you contact me now? Well, we know these people were kind of looking to get married, and now we're saying, hey, do you want to go for a drink? And if you do, I'll buy you one. So this is kind of like the lead magnets, drawing these people in, because what we're after is customers. Now this is really key. You gain 5 customers. So let's look at the numbers here, and remember we're going back to that planner. The guy wanted regular contract work paying $75 a month for prevention. So up here, now I made a mistake here, that shouldn't be a dollar sign. So up here we may have paid $5 per click. You're thinking $5 per click, my God, that's a lot of money. Well, it may be, but it's not, because this is where most people fall over. They spend the money here, $500, and they go, I only got 4 clients that paid me $300, it didn't work. You'll hear that a lot. Well, it does work, because this is where everyone falls over and they don't understand the automation side of it and how to get clients. So let's got 4 clients and we've got 5 over here. Let's do the numbers. We've got 375 plus our 300 gives us 675. Hey, we're up $175 and we've got 9 clients. Things are looking good. So if you did this, month on month, hey, you'd be doing really, really, really well. Now, as I spoke to you before, how I made my money and really multiplied my business to the stratosphere, this is what I did. And this is where, this is what Infusionsoft does. So what you do is then you go, right, now I've got customers. Now I'm going to upsell these customers into a regular paying customer every month. So let's just say I did an upsell automation for a renewal program and I only got 50% of those customers, because the strike rate here is going to be higher dealing with customers than it is dealing with leads, than it is dealing with clicks. So the strike rate will be higher. That'll give you another $375 per month. So when you start multiplying the months on months on months, you can start seeing the power of automation. And that's what sales automation is all about. That's how you make money while you're asleep. But for now, what we're focusing on, as I promised you, was the leads, is this part here. But I just wanted to explain to you the power of automation, how it does the lead work for you. So let's just take a look at the lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? And the lead magnet is that first part of the little book, that you ebook that you might peel off your core offering. So it's not exactly everything you do, it's just peeling off a bit of what you do. So let's look at the Jack and Jill pest control people. They deal with spiders, snakes, ants, rats, you name it, but I've just used these 5 here as an example. Now let's go back to the ants. Now this here is just splintering off a part. So this is splintering off part of our core offer, but what I've done is splintered off a splinter. So it's just a smidgen of what I do. Now, you might be a lawyer, an accountant, show people some tricks and tips to do with taxation laws or software tools or whatever. There's hundreds of different things you can do. So why ants come into your home? This would be a great one. Why do ants come into your home? Prevention's cheaper than cure. So when I said to you before in an earlier video, you're not, what terminology we use here in New Zealand, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You're not giving them all your information up front, because you are only giving them a splinter of what you know. Because part of this is the special poison that you use, all the chemical makeup that get rid of these damn ants, the tools, the special suits that you wear. This is only a splinter of what you know, but that's going to attract these people coming in. This is why they've attracted you in the first place, to give you their email address. So that's kind of what I wanted to, that just explains to you what a lead magnet is. And after this, I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how to create an advertisement. Now, just before I do, I want to show you what a lead magnet is not. And this is where a lot of places go wrong. This is not a lead magnet. No one subscribes to newsletters anymore. They're just not if you're some sort of radical setup, they might, but people aren't interested in newsletters. This is what a lead magnet looks like. Now in module 3, I'm actually showing you how to set up a lead magnet, and it looks very, very similar to this. Very similar to this. And you're probably thinking, well, I won't have a clue how to do this. Trust me, you're going to see me do this over my shoulder, step by step. So these are all lead magnets. Quick start to Google, 17 explosive content promotion strategies. These are all splinter ideas of people's intellectual property. Right, now we've covered off the lead magnet. Let's go and look at how we would attract some traffic to the lead magnet, knowing as making your advertisement. There's only 25 characters available for the heading, and your URL, your internet website address, hopefully it's fairly short because you've only got 35 characters. And this key area here, we've only got 70. So I just wanted to give you a quick insight to the ads and how they look, and you need to kind of really think about this before you start. Now there's two ways we can set up our ad. Now if I go to here, this is the North Shore Pest Control. So this would be what I'd call like a generic advertisement, which is just focusing on the the local area and the 100% guaranteed on all work. Now depending on your business, you can get really, really targeted, like the example I used before with the weight loss for men. So this is like the version of weight loss for men over 50, eliminating ants North Shore. So again, this would fit perfectly into your lead magnet. So it's talking about ants and it's eliminating the ant problem. But don't think that this won't work, because it will, because people that come to this site here, click on this ad, will see the lead magnet and be attracted to it. What I would do is I'd probably focus up here rather than down here, because I'd use this on your second attempt. Don't try and get too clever, too quick, too soon. Okay, but I just wanted to explain this to you. So you could do the same with this second version here for banner ads pointing to your site as well. Now, what you need to do is kind of go away and have a think about your advertisement, and go back to that book and see if you can pick out the let's get my little laser pointer back. See if you can pick out the, where's my laser pointer gone? Hang on. See if you can pick out the key things in your business which matter, like the experience, local, guarantee, 100%, all work. Now, these are things that big tick boxes in the consumer's eye that are going to attract them to your business. So have a really good think about it. Now in the next video, I've covered off a lot in this video. In the next video, we're going to be going over the landing page. So this is completely different. It's a completely different setup, and this is the part that what people see when they land on your page. So just to recap what we've gone over, I've just talked about here creating an advertisement and creating your lead magnet. So we are going to go over the landing page next. Now, before I move on from this video here, I just want to leave you this little tip here. Either stop, sorry, I'm just going to cough. What you can do is you can stop here and start developing your lead magnet and thinking about what you're going to splinter off and give away in your business. It can just be like a one-page PDF, but if you haven't developed it, I would start thinking about it now, because you are going to need it. But just keep it simple. Just make it on a one-page PDF, but make sure the content is super specific and it's great content. No weak tea. Okay, don't make it yawns, yeah, right, ants, don't do that. It's like, you want to give them some really good tips, like, did you know that actually I listened to something on the radio, and it was a guy, for example, he was He was talking about what are they called? Aphids, or some sort of pest that sticks on plants. And he said, by the way, if you have flax, he was talking about flax. He said, if you want pesticides to stick onto flax, a little tip is to mix it with dishwashing liquid, just a tiny bit of dishwashing liquid, and it sticks to the flax. You know, just stuff like that, but a whole lot of tips that people go, oh, wow, that's really good. Because when you go back to them with your offer the following week, they're going to go, yes, I'm going to buy that product because I know that person well. I trust his advice. So don't worry about your advertisement so much at this stage. Really focus on that lead magnet. It's really, really key. So thank you very much for your time. You can end this video now and move on to the next section. Cheers. Okay, so this is the last video in lesson 1, and this is the landing page structure. So I'm just going to walk you through the structure of what we're going to be doing in lesson 3. So what I've done to date is I've covered off for you, the types of customers you need to be focusing on, the targeting of your customers through an advertisement and what you need to do. And then I've also covered off splintering off something you know. So you need this lead magnet. This is really important. What's the thing you're going to be sending them? And now we're going to be talking about your landing page. So this is looking at what's going on inside your website, commonly known as we're going to be setting up this lead box pop-up or different types of landing pages. So it's just these 3 things are really different types of landing pages. You're going to see what they are, and I'm going to walk you through it. So you may be selling a product, you may be selling a service. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. Everything revolves around something, and it fits into these 2 categories. So the example I've given is in the pest control is a service, and there's a couple of ways you can set this up, but the key way to set it up is like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the advertisement pointing to your web page. And on here, this is where you'll be capturing those 4% of urgent people through here. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting up a little wee badge here called get an offer. Get your free ebook, blah, 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 download here. And then it's going to point to give me your email address. So this is the 96% of people that don't buy of us. Don't know why there's urgent there, ignore that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here how we can have a little wee clickable link in your text or your copy inside your website, and that will point to your little offer here as well. So both of these here are going to go to this landing page. Here's going to be a little badge. That'll go to the landing page, and this little link here will go to the landing page. Now all of them are going to be having this little wee lead magnet as the exchange for their email address. Now don't forget, when people go, oh, not interested, they might leave, I'm also going to show you how we set up what's called a pop-up opt-in. Now the way this works is it's basically on exit, or they sit there for a period of time, and either won't happen if one happens before the other. Let me explain. Let's say I'm sitting on the website here, and I'm thinking and I'm reading, and I click through the website and I'm going through it and I'm spending a lot more time. And inside Google, you can get reports that tell you the average time frame someone spends on your site. So let's just say it's 35 seconds. I can set this pop-up. After 35 seconds, it'll pop up. Here's the offer. Get this now. Free guide to ants. That's one. If they, after 10 seconds, they look at the site and they click on the link and they go away, this will pop up. So what we're doing is we're capturing everyone and every person that comes into our website, no matter which way they come in or leave. Now, the second way you can set this up, and actually I'll go onto this next screen here and I've got a picture here of the old Huff. Just remember, this website's not about you, okay? So don't talk about yourself and show them your gold medallion. Just keep it, everything's about them, okay? So when you meet someone on a date, what do you talk about? You know, you can imagine, you know, the girls at work, and she's been out on a date and they say, oh, how did it go? Oh, he did nothing but talk about himself the whole damn night. Yawn, yawn, yawn. It's the same with your website. Now, remember in the previous videos I talked about you can get really specific. So this is the area I want you to focus on here, is location and what you do. Now, you could do this, get rid of Ants North Shore, but that's going to be too narrow for what we're wanting to do here. You will get leads, but you won't get as many. And what I suggest you do in this case, you'd have the advertisement not going straight to this landing page, it would go straight to the green section. So it's bang, get your offer, bang, done. This is known as what they call a squeeze page, and it's really good for digital products, but I wouldn't recommend doing this one for now. This is something you can look at later on. And if you want to go into the, if you want to get a demo from the guys at Infusionsoft, they'll show you how to do this. But what I would do for the lead machine section is just focus on this section here. So just to recap on the structure of this landing page, I'll just show you what we're doing. We're getting your market, and we're plowing them to, they're going to see an advert, they're going to go to your website, and we know 4% of them will contact us if it's urgent. They'll click on here, they'll go into a lead magnet. If they don't, if they leave, there'll be a pop-up. If they hang around on the site too long, there'll be a pop-up. If they click on some content in here, they'll go into here, they'll get the lead magnet. Everything's asking to give them something first in exchange for their email address. And this is where you'll be sending out everything manually. So you'll have to do this manually, but that's okay, because in lesson 3 I'll show you how to do it. It's not a major, it just takes time. But don't forget, this is where your bit stops. If you want to move on and have a sales machine that's automated, which I call, this is where the real money's made, like I explained to you in that other video, you will need an automation system like Infusionsoft. But hey, for now, it's fine. You're going to focus on getting the leads, because without any leads, you're not going to have any sales machine. So don't worry about it. For now, just we'll get this side of it set up. So what I've done now is I've gone through everything. I've gone through your market, talked about what you need to look for and what you need to think about. I've talked about creating an advertisement. I've talked about the landing pages, those 3 capturing tools that we're going to be developing. And I've covered off for you what is a lead magnet. So these are the 3 key things you need to focus on and you need for the next section. So what I'd suggest you do before you get the other go on to the second module is you want to start thinking about your advertisement. You are going to need your advertisement for the next module. The landing page section and the lead magnet you won't need till module 3, but you are going to need your advertisement. But it does pay to get everything done now, because they kind of all do intertwine with each other, and it depends on what your business is. You may kind of have a bit of a subtle link between these two here. It depends. So I hope you found that this first module enjoyable and you've learned something, because in the next module we're going to be going on in lesson 2. This is where we're going to start setting up your accounts. So with that, I'll sign off and we'll see you next week on lesson 2 for the 3X lead machine.
One of the biggest questions we get asked at the 3X lead machine is, how do you automate everything, and what software do you use? Well, we use Infusionsoft. This is the same system that is being used by over 100,000 small businesses worldwide and has been around for over 15 years. We've arranged a private demo of the software so you can see what Infusionsoft can automate in your business, giving you more time to work on your business, not in it. Everything you have learned inside this course connects with Infusionsoft. Therefore, if you choose to go to the next level, then nothing is wasted. If you want a done-for-you system and don't have the time, then click the link on the screen. The guys at Infusionsoft understand the strategies and tools shown in the 3X lead machine and can even set everything up for you. So click the link on your screen and get the jump on your competition today. They won't know what hit them.